Scene to revision. It takes place in Belmont, a room in Portia's house. Enter Bassanio, Portia, Graciano, Nerissa, and other attendants. Portia says, I pray you, wait, pause for a day or two before you hazard, take the risk of choosing the caskets. For in choosing wrong, if you make the wrong choice, I will lose your company. Therefore, forbear a while, be patient for a while. There is something tells me, I have an intuition, but it is not love. Do not consider it as love. I would not lose you. And you know yourself that hate counsels not in such a quality. She says, if I hated you, I would not have had such good intuitions. But lest you should not understand me well, she says, you will not understand me well. Question why? Because a maiden has no tongue but thought. A maiden has got thoughts, but she cannot express it. A maiden was not free to express her thoughts. That was maidenly modesty. I wish to detain you here for some month or two before you take the risk for me. I wish I could teach you how to choose the right casket, but I cannot do that because I would be violating an oath. I am forsworn, I am bound by oath. So will I never break. I will never break an oath, violate an oath. And so you may miss me, but if you do, you will make me wish a sin. In case you miss me, in case you choose the wrong casket, I will wish that I had broken the oath. What is the sin she would wish? She would wish that she had broken the oath, that I had been forsworn, that I had broken the oath. So if you choose the wrong casket, I will wish that I had committed the sin of breaking the oath. She curses Bassanio's eyes because the more she looks into Bassanio's eyes, she's charmed. And you have overlooked me, you have charmed me, you have divided me, you have caused a conflict divided between duty and desire. One half of me is yours, and the other half yours, mine own, I would say. But if mine, then yours, so all yours. So she says that whatever is mine is yours, but it is not possible that you can possess me until you marry me. So therefore I am yours but not yours. So I am yours but not yours, it means that though I have dedicated myself to you, you cannot possess me until you marry me, until you choose the, you cannot marry me until you choose the right casket. But if mine, then yours, so all yours. Oh, these naughty times, time is wicked, fortune was wicked, because fortune was putting a bar, an obstruction between the owner and the right. Owner was Bassanio, and right was Miranda. And so, though yours, not yours. Though yours, that is, I have dedicated myself to you. Not yours, that is, you cannot possess me until you marry me. So, though I have dedicated myself to you, you cannot possess me until you choose the right casket. Prove it so. If it so happens, if what happens, if it happens that you choose the wrong casket, then who will be cursed? Fortune would be cursed. I will not be cursed. Prove it so. Let fortune go to hell for it. So who will go to hell? Who will go to hell for it? Fortune will go to hell for it. Why will fortune go to hell for it? For putting a bar between the owner and the right. Why will fortune go to hell for it? For putting a bar between the owner and the right. And so, okay, for it, not I. I speak too long, but it is to piece the time, stretch the time, to eke it, to stretch it, to draw it out of length, to stretch it, to stay you from election, to detain you here further. Bassanio says, let me choose, for as I am, I live upon the rack. I live in a state of anxiety. And as we know, rack was an instrument of torture. And who were sent to the rack? People who committed treason, people who committed treachery against the country. Portia says, upon the rack, Bassanio, then confess you there is some treason mixed with your love. Bassanio says, there is no treason mixed with my love, but the ugly treason of uncertainty. Uncertainty related to the casket is what makes me fear the enjoying of my love, is what prevents me from cherishing my love. There may as well be amity and life. Amity and life, friendship, relationship between snow and fire. So, just as there is no relationship between snow and fire, so there is no relationship between treason and my love. Portia says, I fear you are speaking upon the rack. You are speaking like a man who is tortured on the rack to give flattering answers. So you are giving flattering answers. You are giving answers to flatter me, just like the person tortured on the rack gives pleasing replies to the torturer, where men are forced to speak anything. So you are trying to please me with your pleasing replies. So what did Bassanio say? Bassanio said that there was no treason mixed with his love, and he says that there would be as much friendship between treason and his love as between snow and fire. This was the flattering reply he gave. Bassanio says, "Promise me life and I will confess the truth." So, just like an accused pleads to the king that if you promise that you will allow me to live, I will confess the truth. Well, then confess and live. But Bassanio playfully changes it to confess and love. And then he says that his torment was a happy torment for two reasons. Number one, the torturer says, confess and love. And number two, the torturer teaches him the answers for deliverance. Sorry, excuse me. But let me to my fortune and the caskets. Portia says, away then, I am locked in one of them. My portrait is locked in one of the caskets. If you truly love me, you will find me out. Nerissa and others stand away and let music be played while Bassanio is making his choice, so that if he lose, his end could be compared to the death of a swan who sings a last song and drowns in the pond. So, music will play the role of the swan's last song. Music will play the role of the swan's last song, and Bassanio would play the role of the swan. And so that the comparison may stand proper, to make the comparison more appropriate, my eyes shall be the stream, my eyes shall be the watery deathbed, my eyes shall be the stream, and he shall fade in music. The comparison may stand more proper, my eyes shall be the stream and watery deathbed for him. Watery deathbed, stream for him. He may win. What is music then? If Bassanio wins, then music plays two roles. Number one, trumpets blown at the coronation of ceremony of a prince who is newly crowned as a monarch. So, ceremonial blowing of trumpets. So, what role will music play if he chooses the right casket? Ceremonial blowing of trumpets at at the coronation ceremony of a prince newly crowned as a monarch. So here trumpets, music will play the role of trumpets. Bassanio will be like the prince who is crowned as a monarch, and other subjects they bow in respect. Nerissa and the others are like the other subjects bowing in respect, and Portia is like the crown which Bassanio would wear. Such it is as are the dulcet sounds in the break of day. And if Bassanio makes the right choice, the second role that music will play is the pleasant sound which a bridegroom hears, which is the music which is played in the mind of the groom, a person who is going to get married, or an English custom of playing music outside the room of the person who is getting married at the break of day, summoning him to marriage. So, sweet music played at the day of marriage that creep into the dreaming bridegroom's ear and summon him to marriage. Now he goes with no less presence. And then Portia goes on to compare Bassanio with Alcides or Hercules. Alcides or Hercules was the god of strength. It was the classical god of strength. Troy was once threatened by a sea monster. There was only one way to appease the sea monster, and that was to offer Hesione, the princess of Troy, as a sacrifice, as a virgin sacrifice, as a virgin tribute. So Hesione volunteered herself as a virgin tribute, but then the people howled and sought help from Hercules. Hercules went to fight the sea monster because he wanted the king's horses as a reward. So, here, who is the sea monster? The caskets are like the sea monster, Who is Hercules? Bassanio is like Hercules. Who is Portia? Hesione is like Portia. And other people, the Trojan men and women who stood shouting, howling, crying, and with smeared faces smeared with tears, they were Nerissa and the others. So now he goes with no less presence, but with much more love. This means that less presence, matlab grace. It means that Bassanio was approaching the casket more gracefully than Hercules approached the sea monster. And this is because Hercules approached the sea monster out of greed for the seahorses, whereas Bassanio approached the caskets out of love. Therefore, Bassanio's approach of the casket was more graceful than Hercules approaching the sea monster. When he did redeem, when he did rescue the virgin tribute paid by the howling Troy, virgin tribute Hesione, virgin maiden offered as a sacrifice paid by the howling Troy to the sea monster. I stand for sacrifice. The rest aloof are the Dardanian wives. The others standing away are the Dardanian wives, the Trojan women with smeared faces. They have come out to view the issue of the exploit, the outcome of the fight. Go, Hercules. You live, I live. So my life depends on you. Only if you choose the right casket, I will have a motive to live. With much more worry, I view the fight than you who is making the fray. While Bassanio comments on the casket to himself, song. Tell me, where is fanciful love born? Is fanciful love born in the heart, or is fanciful love born in the head? How begot, how born, how nourished, how brought up? What does it feed? Reply, reply. Fanciful love is born in the eyes. Fanciful love is fed by mutual gazing of lovers. But fanciful love being short lasting, because if love is based on outward attraction, it will die soon. So, fanciful love is love based on outward physical attraction, outward attraction. So, it will not last long. It will die in the cradle where it lies. So, that means fanciful love is born in the eyes and fanciful love dies in the eyes. It means fanciful love dies in its infant stages. Let us all ring fancy's death bell, ding dong bell. All the musicians in chorus sing ding dong bell. Bassanio says, so may the outward shows be least themselves. So that means very well explained as mentioned in the song. Outward show is worthless. The world is always deceived with outward show. And then he goes on to give the example of law. In law, eloquent arguments of an experienced lawyer hides the falsity of a corrupt plea. Eloquent voice of a seasoned lawyer, of an experienced lawyer, hides the falsity, the fraudulence of a plea. In religion, when men of significance, men of wealth, they commit an error, many respectable member of the society, they defend it, they defend his sinful act, and they justify it by quoting examples from the holy text. Example, if a wealthy man ill treats his wife, people will come, respectable members of the society will come, and they will preach the woman that she has to bear with the atrocity, because even Sita had to go through Agni Pariksha. So, in this way, when a man of significance commits any error, people, respectable members of the society, they stand to defend it. And in this way, hiding the grossness with ornament, hiding the wickedness, hiding the sin with fair ornament. तो बताओ grossness या sin यहाँ पे क्या हुआ? Sin committed by the man of significance, और fair ornament क्या हो गया? Quotation from the holy text. Therefore, no vice is simple. इसका मतलब every evil is sophisticated. Assume some mark of virtue on his outward parts. It means that evil always puts up a show of goodness. And next example, first example of law, second example of religion, third example, cowards. There are many cowards. Inwardly search, what will you find? Number one, their hearts are as unreliable as the stairs of sand. And number two, their livers are white as milk. Okay, and how do they pretend bravery? By putting up beards like Hercules and putting up a frowning expression like the god of war, Mars. And in this way, they assume whalers' excrement. Assume whalers' excrement, that is, they disguise their covered eyes with an outward show of valor to render them redoubted. Render them redoubted, that is, to present themselves in a disguised way. To present themselves in a disguised way, to hide their covered eyes. Next example is that of beauty. In beauty, first example, cosmetic. The more it can be purchased by weight, and application of cosmetic makes even an ugly woman appear fair. And this is a miracle in nature, because the more and more she applies, the lighter she becomes. Here, lighter means fairer she becomes. Next example is of wig. Curled locks, crispy locks hanging on the forehead of a woman who is actually wearing a wig. And this wig looks so natural that even the wind flirts with it. This wig, this hair, is the gift of another woman who is dead and buried. And in this way, next example is that of seashore, gilded shore. Gilded shore means treacherous shore, seashore which appears to be calm. But what the seashore hides is the violence of the sea. By looking at the calmness of the shore, you cannot estimate the violence of the ocean. Next example, a beautiful scarf which is hiding the dark complexion of an ugly woman. And in a word, this is the seeming truth. Seeming truth means apparent truth. Apparent matlab appears to be true. Apparent truth means appears to be true. So this truth, this appears to be true, which cunning times put on, that is, which wicked people put on, to entrap the wisest, and even the wisest of men get trapped. Therefore, you gaudy gold, that is gold full of show, hard food for Midas. Next example is that of Midas. Midas was a king who wished that whatever he touches turns to gold. He realized his foolishness when the food he touched turned to gold, and later his daughter turns to gold. I do not want to associate with you. I will none of thee. I do not want to approve of you. And silver, he compared silver to a common slave. Earlier, there was a tradition of buying and selling of slaves. So, slaves exchanged hands, that is, they passed from one master to another. Similarly, silver has been termed as a slave because silver coins were the common mode of exchange during that time, and therefore we know that money passes from one hand to another like a slave. So silver was pale. The pale, that is, the shine of the silver is not so bright as that of gold, therefore pale. It has a pale shine, the shine like that of the moon. You common drudge between man and man, you common slave between man and man. But you meagre gold, meagre matlab of little lead, sorry, meagre lead matlab you lead which has little value, which rather threatenest than dost promised anything. So you are threatening. How threatening? Referring to the inscription on the lead casket, that is, who chooses me has to risk whatever he has, which rather threatenest than promise anything. Thy paleness moves me more than eloquence. So I am more moved by your lack of shine than the eloquence of gold or silver. Eloquence refers to the shine. Eloquence also refers to the eloquent inscriptions on the casket. And here choose I joy with the consequence. So let me choose here, and whatever be the consequence, whatever be the outcome, let that be joyful. Thank you.